Alright guys, so welcome to another video. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. In today's video guys, we're going to be looking into some BONK Coin charts as well as Pepe Coin, COQ Inu, some other meme coins we're going to be looking at as well here on today's video guys. So guys, as usual, if you enjoy this type of updates, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And let's get into today's video. So right guys, so here on BONK Coin, it seems like we have some new charts forming up here on BONK Coin. So basically this seems to be a triangle forming on BONK Coin, which is kind of an accumulation pattern. So usually those patterns guys, usually after a long move up that we've seen here on BONK Coin, they usually form along the way. So we could see that we had something like that as well here in the past, where we had this triangle here and BONK Coin ended up breaking out of it, and then we had one here and it keeps going now. So usually those kind of tend to be some sort of an accumulation range that decides the fate of the trend, if it's gonna go up or down. So usually what really decides what's the fate of this triangle or of this accumulation is gonna be is the general sentiment of the market. So if the market is feeling FOMO, when people are kind of into that craze of buying everything, these triangles or these accumulation patterns, they usually tend to break to the upside. Now here what it seems to be happening on BONK Coin so far, it is still holding this previous zone here that you can see here. It's used to be some sort of a support. It played as a support in the past here. So here it was a resistance, and we can see here a bounce from it, now a bounce from it, and now as well here throughout this last 6 days we've just seen it kind of like acting as a support. Now so far it's still acting as a support. Now for those wondering, this price is around here now, so it's around that 13.19. that's the lowest price on that zone. So if we do break this, now this is the question here. So if we do break below, I still think this support here is gonna hold. Now this usually supports, they usually tend to hold for at least 3 times. So now it could be this is the last third tap and then the breakout. So usually that's how those kind of triangles play out. Now we do have some sort of a accumulation and then a squeeze, and then we see the actual breakout happening, but this needs to be timed with some Bitcoin showing some strength. Now Bitcoin today as well is not doing much, as I said. Now not much volume happening. We still need this candle here to close. So today's candle here is what's gonna really bring in some kind of like hope back in the market. Now we need to get this candle back up, and overall I do think Bitcoin is gonna hold overall this week. We could still see Bitcoin holding above that 40k. Now if you've seen my previous video where I told you guys, probably here we're gonna see some sort of a short-term altcoin season, and we could see still some pumps going ahead on altcoins as Bitcoin kind of keeps going sideways here and gives some breathing room to these coins. Now this still stands true. As we can see here guys, BONK Coin, as I showed you, is still holding above the support. Nothing major really happened. We don't see that real bearish move so far here happening on BONK Coin, and we can't really be jumping into conclusions right now. As long as BONK Coin is holding at that 13 level here, we could still see by tomorrow, as soon as the volume comes back, we could still see it breaking out. Now I still think we're still on some sort of a bullish trend, and altcoins still got some moves left before we see any real major dips coming ahead. Now as I said guys previously, I do think now this ETF thing or this ETF news is possibly a sell the news, and we could possibly see Bitcoin going towards that 35k, which will gonna be that major bottom that everyone has been waiting for the whole of 2023, and finally those that been sidelined can finally get in some buy zones. Now as I've been saying, overall guys, we are headed toward a bull market, toward the halving year on Bitcoin, and usually those signals a major bull market. So there is nothing overall for the long term to be freaking about here. We officially entered that hodl season right now. Now a lot of people get used, like especially the people that spent the 2022 and seen this downtrend here, learned the wrong things here, learned that they have to sell as soon as something pumps, because the overall trend was going down and it was very rare to see any pumps, and people usually would start to sell as soon as they see any pumps. Now we changed that market structure to going up only here guys. Now it means that the dips are for buying and hodling along the way, and the pumps are not for selling mainly, and you want to be kind of waiting for Bitcoin to break above those previous all-time highs and we enter this massive bull market, that's when we're gonna start to be thinking about selling and taking some profits overall. Now overall guys, here on BONK Coin, as I said, now this could still be a support, could still see some moves like this, but I do not think we're gonna see some massive runs now here. It's still on the table. It could take some time now for BONK Coin. As I've been saying guys, usually takes around 150 days up to 225 days when we see any major rallies into meme coins, going into meme coins, and this could be taking some time here for BONK Coin. We could still see this move playing out now. If BONK Coin comes back here and we break out, we could still see some nice pumps here on BONK Coin, but overall I do think we're gonna be going into some boring price action, and especially if Bitcoin drops towards the 35k and below, we could still see some major dumps into BONK Coin. If I'm holding BONK Coin and I'm waiting for that pump to come, now as soon as we take these previous highs, I'm gonna be thinking about taking some profits and waiting for that major dip. Now the overall consensus is that we're probably gonna see Bitcoin after that spot Bitcoin ETF news slowly bleeding down, probably dropping towards the 35k, which is the next massive support on Bitcoin. And as we've seen historically guys, usually Bitcoin drops after any major news, like we've seen back since 2017 with the CME futures, with the Coinbase going public, with the first futures Bitcoin ETF, and now with the spot Bitcoin ETF. So usually we do see major drops after those news, and this time won't be different probably, and we could still see Bitcoin dropping. Now overall what I am expecting is some sort of a 15 days up to a month where we're gonna see altcoins still looking strong, still pumping. If Bitcoin decides to prove everyone wrong and proves that spot Bitcoin ETF was a bullish news and we keep rallying from here, then good days ahead. Then forget everything I just said about BONK Coin. That just means we're gonna keep going up overall here. So that's when it comes to BONK Coin. If you still have any more questions guys, you can leave them in the comment section. You can as well join my Discord group, link in the description, it's free to join. And now we're gonna be heading towards some Pepe Coin. Now when it comes to Pepe Coin guys, now this is a different scenario here playing out, and especially now we're waiting for that ETH ETF narrative that it's gonna be playing out right now, and it's probably gonna start sending those ETH coins rallying. Now the Solana rally is done, and now we're gonna see ETH rally getting started, and this is as well fueled by the ETF. Now BlackRock is filing for an ETH ETF, so this is gonna be very bullish short term here for ETH as well. We're gonna see the same thing that happened with Bitcoin here, with this rally going ahead towards that spot Bitcoin ETF. Now we're gonna have the same thing happening with ETH spot Bitcoin ETF, and we could see Pepe Coin kind of benefiting from that. Now Pepe Coin could still rally from here. Now Pepe Coin here still holds this support, which is a very important right now. That 10 level on Pepe Coin seems to be still a nice support, but overall there is one concern here, is that we have that double top. Now this double top that doesn't need necessarily to play out, and if it does play out and we see a drop, now I do think this is gonna be that level on Pepe Coin to be looking at, that 86. Now when that's when it comes to that downside here, if we see the double top playing out. But overall I think with the ETH ETF now coming, the 10 level would pretty much be holding here, and we could see Pepe Coin rallying from here now, and we could see this kind of like downtrend here breaking out and sending Pepe Coin higher. Now we could still possibly see Pepe Coin taking out these highs here. And as well on Pepe Coin here guys, I noticed something very interesting, that the coins that get launched on Binance, they kind of form some sort of the same pattern or the same chart. So this is Pepe Coin charts on the weekly, and this is Arbitrum charts on the weekly. Now we can see here when it got listed on Binance, it kind of topped like 3 days later, and then we seen this downtrend on Arbitrum. And the same thing we see here. Pepe Coin topped right after getting listed on Binance, and then we seen it going on a downtrend. Now here is the kicker here guys, is we seen as well a double bottom playing on Pepe Coin here. Now this double bottom, remember this double bottom after Pepe Coin ended the downtrend is the same double bottom here on Arbitrum as well. We can see here this double bottom, and from there we seen Arbitrum rallying, and the same thing here, we seen this double bottom Pepe Coin rallying, and now this phase here on Pepe Coin is some sort of here on Arbitrum, right? So this accumulation right after breaking out of that double bottom, we've seen this accumulation, the same thing we're seeing here now. This been taking a while here on Pepe Coin, but I do think this could play out the same as we can see here. As soon as Arbitrum broke out, we've seen it rallying from that accumulation, and that could be the same thing playing out here. It's very similar patterns. It's just that Arbitrum now has broken out and Pepe Coin hasn't yet. So with that ETF narrative coming up now as the next biggest narrative in the crypto space, this could be very bullish for Pepe Coin. Now this is what I think so far here could play out on Pepe Coin. As usual, this is not financial advice. I've been getting some Pepe Coin way at the lows here, so I'm sitting pretty comfortably here, and that's when it comes to Pepe Coin here, guys. We're gonna be looking into some COQ as well. Now COQ is still holding around that $100 million market cap, which is pretty impressive here, guys. Now you have to understand that a lot of coins are dropping now recently with the news and whether everything that is going on. The market is pretty much not looking great overall, but we are seeing those coins that at the hype and at the peak of that hype of the meme coin season, when BONK Coin was making numbers, COQ Inu and Snake and those new meme coins that just appeared were looking more like some sort of, it's gonna be a pump and dump and not really kind of solid projects. And I've been waiting for the hype to die off to be looking at them back again and see how they are keeping up. But the thing is, they are keeping up pretty well so far. COQ keeping up pretty well. We do have Snake on that Cardano keeping up pretty well as well. We do have Toshi recently seen a rally and now keeping up around that $50 million market cap. We have ladies as well. This shows, guys, that meme coins somewhat are establishing themselves right now. They are not anymore that kind of like risky pump and dump meme coins that people are just using for rocks and stuff, which is still kind of the case, but overall those that make it to the top kind of stick around now. It's not anymore just a meme coin that passes through a phase and move on. It seems like they kind of stay around right now, and it's the landscape is totally different right now from back in the days with Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. Right now we're having a totally different kind of landscape. We have those meme coins that come and stay right now. We don't see them really now rogging or even seeing massive sell-offs when we see the market overall is bearish. Now here, what we see here, we have recently this whiff. We've seen recently whiff showing some massive rallies. We have Myro as well. Now today standing at $125 million market cap. Now it seems like it's a strong meme coin now, and this is looking pretty good now so far. I do think it's, as it is still a new kind of kid in the block here, I do want to see how it's gonna perform over the next few months, where we're gonna probably have more of a bearish sentiment overall in the market with Bitcoin going sideways and all of that. So I want to keep an eye on Myro for now. Now COQ and Snake are still holding strong. Those are in the top of my list of those meme coins I want to be holding for the bull market, and the reason is simple, is that COQ is the top meme coin on AVAX, and AVAX could possibly be a very good blockchain in the future, especially that they are hyped up right now with the big influencers talking about metaverse and such. So AVAX could be some sort of a big winner in the bull market. And we do have Snake on that Cardano. Now Cardano is not doing great, and I do think Cardano is still gonna see some rallies in the bull market. Cardano has a huge community, and they are gonna feel left behind, and they're gonna have to pump their meme coins to kind of bring some adoption back. And I do think now I'm pretty bullish on Snake overall. Snake is kind of looking bullish day after day in my eyes right now, especially that I see a lot of people are forgetting about Cardano and ADA chain. And I do think that the Cardano community are gonna wanna make a name for themselves again here when we see the bull market. So we got that Snake there, we got that Toshi as well holding strong on that Coinbase chain. We got ladies as well, seen a pump recently now, up 15% on the 7 days, Toshi 36%. So overall here, guys, we are gonna have to see what Bitcoin is gonna do, and we want to see as well how that ETH ETF narrative is gonna play out, but mainly that ETH ETF narrative is gonna be beneficial to coins that are mainly on that ETH chain like Pepe Coin, Shiba Inu, Floki, and we could possibly see even a small or a short NFT season coming ahead with that ETH ETF. So I want to be looking into some NFTs right now, guys. I do think now NFTs on ETH are gonna start to pop off again. So that's for it here today, guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. If you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comment section, or you can join my Discord. Link in the description, is free to join. And for my guys trading derivatives, and as well for those looking to buy those coins that are still low caps like Snake and like COQ and like Kimbo and those real low market cap coins, you can find them on LBank. You don't need no KYC, no VPN to trade here. You can trade derivatives, and you as well get a bonus on your deposit. I'll leave you the link in the description for those that are interested. So again, guys, I want to thank you so much for hanging around here today. And as usual, nothing is financial advice, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.